Kia ora and welcome to this video on the Literacy Reading Car exam. In this video we're going to take a look at how to log in to the digital exam practice papers, and we're going to take a close look at the paper and talk about some exam strategy to hopefully give you the skills you need to succeed when you take this exam. On the left hand side we have questions with multiple choice answers, and on the right we can scroll down for this text. Okay, so that is question 1. Now if we look to the top of the screen here, we have 8 boxes. And I expect it's going to be the same in the pilot exam which you're taking, but there may be more or less questions. Each of these is a question. So that's question 2, and there's the text. Question 3, and there's the text. All the texts are different topics. Some have pictures, some don't. They might have bullet points, they might be a text message conversation. There's all sorts of different texts there. Now let's just go on to this last one for the purposes of this video. Okay. Let's talk timings. There are 8 texts. You've got an hour and a half in the assessment. That means you've got around 11 minutes per text. However, that's a really rough guideline because some of the texts are longer than others and some of them have more questions than others. So the one that we're going to take a look at in this video in a moment has only got 2 questions, whereas the first text has 5 questions. So my advice to you would be, when you're taking this assessment, keep your eye on the clock and give yourself around 10-ish minutes for each one. But if you spend 15 minutes on a longer one or one with more tricky questions, that's fine, but just keep an eye on your watch when you move on to the next one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk to you about a 4-step exam technique that's designed to help you succeed in this reading assessment. The first step is to read the title, blurb and question and take a quick look at the text too. See if there are any images there or anything that you notice. The second step is to closely read the text all the way through one time. The third step is to look at the question, and it's only then that you're going to start answering the questions, looking back at the text which you've already read closely to make sure that you're confident that you're selecting the right answer. And the final step is, if you can't answer one, you may decide to either choose the answer that you think is the most likely to be correct, or just leave it and come back to it later. Alright, so what we'll do now is let's have a look at one of the questions from the assessment and have a go at applying this 4-step strategy. Alright, so here we are. We've got the title and the blurb here and the question and the text on the right. So let's just take a quick look at the text to start off with. I'm seeing it's looking like a website. I've got the name of a product. It's like some online shopping, the price, an image of the product, which is like a toy. I've got some reviews here, some star ratings, and some information about the product. It looks like I've got 4 products. Now to look at the question. So question 8, fidgets. Sita wants to buy a fidget toy for her niece as part of her 5th birthday present. She looks online at a fidget toy website. Read the descriptions and select the correct answers. Okay, so this is a fidget toy website. So I'm now just kind of summoning all my knowledge about fidget toys and what I might expect when I'm reading on a website, doing some online shopping. Okay, so that's the first step done. Now for the next step. Closely read the text all the way through one time. This is incredibly important, and what you also need to do here is remember not to skip onto step 3. It's really tempting when you're in an exam and the clock's ticking away to go straight through and start trying to answer the questions, but you've got no chance of answering them correctly if you haven't read the text really carefully and understood it before you go to the questions. So let's have a go at doing this. Resource 8, mini magnets, $10. as I'm reading this, I'm just going to voice my thinking process aloud. And these are the kind of thoughts that you want to be having to make sure that you're understanding the text. Okay, use the mini magnets to build creations. Possibly the most popular desk toy ever. These magnets are like magnetic putty, a stress ball and adult building blocks rolled into one. Okay, so those ones are for adults. Most helpful reviews, 5 stars, expensive but fun. And 2 stars, cool, but they're tiny and easy to lose. That does sound like a bit of a problem. I can see that being a bit irritating. But this person is really happy with this product. The second one is the magnetic balls. It's the same price, $10. These magnets are super strong and make a satisfying thwack when they connect. Now I'm thinking that this has been put in capitals to let us know that the noise is really loud. Most helpful reviews, 3 stars, love these magnets. And 1 star, bought these for my daughter but had to hide them. The sound hurts my ears. Okay. It does say that they're loud in the write-up, so maybe she should have realised that. Colour puzzle ball, $10. A robust, colourful puzzle suitable for 3 years and up. Push on the small, colourful balls to move them around or as you like, or match them to the coloured circles. Most helpful reviews, 5 stars. Great fidget, quiet and fun to play with. My kids fight over ours, so I'm buying 3 more. Well, they really enjoyed the product, and 3 stars. Fun. This product looks very popular. And then finally, Rainbow Snapper, same price, $10. Give your hands some exercise and relieve stress with this snapper toy. Okay, so this is a bit different. The one before was a kid's toy, whereas this one is for exercise and stress relief. Makes a satisfying, quiet clicking sound. So this one's quiet, whereas the second ones were loud. Most helpful reviews, 5 stars. This gives my hands a real workout. It's quite hard to make it snap, but satisfying when I do. And this is 1 star. Wow, that's a low rating. Toy excellent, but it was delivered to the wrong address by the courier. Took me a week to track it down. Oh dear, so they had problems with the courier. Okay, I've read all 4 of these and I'm now feeling pretty confident that I understand this text. I've had a really good think about what I've read. I'm ready to move on to stage 3. Here we go. Look at the question and look back at the text to find the right answer. Let's have a go at that. So there are only 2 questions for this one. So here we go. First one, which toy would make the best present for Sita's niece? And then we've got 4, so those are obviously the 4 toys that are here. Okay, I just need to remind myself then of what Sita's niece is like. How old is she? Let's see, is it telling us? Wants to buy a fidget toy for her niece as part of her 5th birthday present. Okay, the information is there. Because I've read that carefully, I now know that I'm trying to buy, choose a present for a 5-year-old. So I can remember from my reading then that the first one, the mini magnets, they're small, they're easy to lose, and they look a bit like a choking hazard to me. The second one, the magnetic balls, might be okay for a young person. However, it says they're really loud, and I remember this person just gave it the 1 star because they said it was too loud when their daughter played with them. Look, this person said they had to hide them. So I don't think that's the perfect one. I think from my reading that it's this colour puzzle ball. Everyone really enjoys this. It's fun. This person's kids like it so much they're fighting over it, and she's going to buy 3 more. Small, colourful balls, move them around, suitable for 3 years and up. I think this is probably the perfect present, but I'm not going to click on my answer until I've checked the final one because I just want to make sure that I'm really confident that that is the answer. Okay, yeah, the Rainbow Snapper. Well, this one is the exercise and stress relief toy. That's not going to be appropriate for the 5-year-old. Therefore, I'm going to click colour puzzle ball. If I press the wrong one, I change my mind, I can move my answer around, by the way. Okay, which toy has a review with an unfairly low star rating? Well, I'm just going to go straight to the 2 that have the low rating. It was this one, and this one was because the person thinks it's too loud. Seems a little bit unreasonable, doesn't it? Because the write-up about the product says that it's loud. Like, that's the idea of this toy, is that it makes a satisfying loud noise. So I think that this person actually should have known that when they bought it, and it's a bit unfair to give it a low review when that's the whole idea of the toy. I think that is probably the answer, the magnetic balls. But before I do anything, I'm just going to double check. This is the other one with the really low rating, the low review. Toy excellent, but it was delivered to the wrong address by the courier. Took me a week to track it down. Okay, well this person, they've given it 1 star because it didn't get to them. The courier, well, it didn't get to them for a week. That's probably a bit more of a reasonable reason to give a 1-star review. So therefore, I am going to go with the magnetic balls. Okay, I can click next here. That's just going to take me to this page. This is filled in blue because it's telling me that I've completed that question. So I just need to, now I'd need to do the rest of the paper. So I go back in, and I just wanted to show you up here. This is filled in blue, and that tells me that I've completed that one. These ones are still blank, so I know that I've still got those to do. So I can now get on and finish those other questions. And there's one final point here on the 4-step process, and that is, if you can't answer one, leave it and come back to it later. Some of these questions are tricky. They really require you to think carefully, like you saw me doing there. If there's one that you just really cannot decide which answer it is, I suggest that you do tick a box, you do select a box, then do the rest of the text and then come back to it at the end if you have time and have a further think and change your answer around. You could also just completely leave it and come back to it at the end as well. Okay, thank you for listening to my video and good luck.